Hello, I hope that you are doing great. Today we are going to cover the material in chapter 14. This is the last chapter in the course, and okay, I'm going to miss you a lot. This is clear. Yeah, but this is we have to finish the course, and this is basically the last video in which basically we are going to deploy your app in Heroku. This is something that is also useful to learn. We have put a lot of effort in learning how to deploy an app in Amazon Web Service, but it's also useful that you know how to deploy your app in another server as a service company. Okay, then let's move on. The first thing that you have to go is to create an account in Heroku, and I have already done that. And Heroku have a very nice, and also Amazon Web Service have this, is authentication process. And basically if I have here, this is my mobile phone, and I have an authenticator key, and okay, oh yeah. Okay, basically when you open here, you have to install this program, and then once that you have this, is here appearing Heroku, and this is basically is going to give you a key that you have to introduce in Heroku web page. This is basically to increase the kind of the security of the web. Is exactly how the bank works and so on. Okay, but okay, I have already introduced all these keys and all these credentials. Then once that you are inside Heroku, I don't have anything here now. Then I'm going to create a new app, and the name of the app is going to be Carbon App 2023. This is going to be in Europe, and it's available. Then I'm going to click create the app. And this is something very important in the deployment. What we can do this in the command line. I have done this, but this is not the objective of the course. We are going to connect this directly to GitHub, and here you have to find the name of the repository. Is exactly that we have done this before with Amazon Web Service in the code pipeline. Then you have to search for this. Is going to find it. We are going to connect directly. Here you have, if you want to enable the automatic deploys, I'm not going to do that, but sometimes it's useful because once that you change something in the GitHub account, it's going to be updated immediately. Then the last step, if you have to go and deploy the branch, okay? And this will take some time. It's exactly as we have done before. Now it's creating basically, it's installing all the packages that we have in the requirements file, and this is basically what the computer is doing right now. Okay, the process has finished, and now we can open the app. The app is not going to work because we didn't create the databases and everything, but I open it here, and it's basically telling me that we have an error, and this is expected because we didn't create the databases and all these things. And then this is the first thing. The next thing that we are going to do is to create this the databases associated to this file, and then we will need to introduce other changes. Here you have to go to resource, Heroku Postgres, I have to submit the order, and now okay, I am here, and now I have to create a database. Okay, I think that it's already created databases. I have to go to the settings, database credentials, view database credentials. It's already created a database. Okay, then this is basically the same information that we have in Amazon Web Service. Is basically you have the database, the username, the port, the password, and the final kind of link to the database. and this is what we need to run our application. Okay, this is something very useful, but before to do this, I also would like to protect some important information, and then to do that we have to go to Heroku, and then we go to our Heroku app, and we have to go to settings, and here basically you have a button that is reveal config bars, and here this is something very useful. You have already the database URL is already encrypted. It's an environmental variable, and this is super useful because we can use this environmental variable to place this in GitHub and then protect our password and our security. The other thing that I would like to do is to create a secret key, as we have done before, secret key, because we also want to protect that information. And the secret key, I go now to my Visual Studio, my local computer, and I copy the secret key. I copy that information and then I paste it here, and I add this environmental variable, and I go like to create another environmental variable that is going to be db password, for example, db password, and this is precisely the information that we have here, db password, this information here. Okay, control copy, then I go here and I introduce it here, and I have created another environmental variable. Okay, we are going to use this in 5 minutes from now. Okay, this concludes the things in Heroku for now. Basically, we have deployed the application and we have created the database. Now we have to go to GitHub again. We have to go here, and basically here now we have the secret key, and we have to create usually, and this is something very important, when we create the database, we have, and we want to protect the credentials, you have different possibilities. The first one is this one that you have here. Is basically you create a database that is connected to the environmental variable that we have created, that is database URL. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. It seems that now you have to introduce more structure. I have placed a lot of links from the official document from Heroku, but this is what I have from that documentation, and it didn't work. It seems that now you have to have allow access also by using Amazon Web Service to this database, because basically Heroku have their databases hosted in Amazon Web Service, and then you have to create a kind of account in Amazon Web Service and allow the access to these databases. I have the documentation, then I'm in the web page. I'm not going to explain this because this is my objective is not that you don't deploy this in Heroku. The objective is that you learn more or less how to do this. But if you are interested on do this, you have to do that by yourself. You have to go through the documentation and find this. Basically, what you have here with this, it's all work. I have tried other things. Basically, this is the second option. Is I have created this OS environmental get database password. Is basically I try to create environmental variables for the username, for the password, for the call, the host, the name of the database, and with this is also all work as well, but it didn't work. Then basically what we are going to have to do here is basically to disclose all the information, and this is not a good practice, but it's the unique way in which I have been able to run this application. Then basically you have to go here and to copy basically all what you have here. You copy this, you go now here, and basically what we have done is disclose. It's basically this is the username, the password, and all these things. Again, this is not a good practice, and I really discourage you to do this, but for a practical perspective, we have to do this, otherwise we are not going to be able to run this. Then we commit the changes, and now basically this is all what we need to do in the GitHub account. Is we have the secret key and we have the databases. This is exactly what we have done in Amazon Web Service, but in Amazon Web Service kind of the encryption of the variables and the protection of the sensitive information is slightly different, but basically the principles are the same. Okay, now the last thing that we have to do is to go to our computer, and here basically we have the secret key. Here we also have the DB bar, and basically here we have to paste exactly the same information. Is basically this is the information related to our database. We save this, and now we have to create the database, and now we have to go to the terminal, and we have to do exactly the same process that we have done other times. Is basically type Python, and then here we are kind of we have to create basically the databases with the tables and all the things. Then is from cap import db create all, and click enter. And basically what we have done now, I'm going to quit from here, is basically we have created the databases in Amazon in Heroku, basically by running this command. Now we have different options, but I would like to explain you now. We have to come back again to Heroku, and now we have to go to the deploy and deploy the branch one more time, because we need to upload all the information that we have in GitHub. And I also would like to go to the database that is here, and we are going to create some Dataclips to access to our database. Okay, this is basically a Dataclip. Here is basically what we have done by pgadmin, is basically to introduce some Postgres kind of code to access to the information in our database. Then here basically it's very simple. Here is this is select, for example, all from public user table. Okay, and here is basically appearing the tables that we have created. User table, and then save and run. Okay, this is users, for example. Save and run. This database now is empty. Okay, I have nothing, but we are going to start to populate this right now. Now I go again to my Carbon app, and now we can view this. Okay, this is a very good signal. Our app is running. This is basically your domain. This is exactly the same domain that you have in Amazon Web Service. With this is your own domain, and you can share it with companies and your friends or whoever you want. Now the first thing that I would like to do is to register to verify that this is working fine. Go to create Bjork. I have a lot of Bjorks. Here I introduce my password. I sign up. Okay, this seems that is working, and now I would like to enter Carbon app. Ciao. Bjork. Okay, this is not very nice. Okay, I have to check that I have created already this. I go here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Okay, this is correct. Okay, I don't know if I make a mistake because it's registering here. This is register. Otherwise I would like to create another. This is not working. I would like to create another user. This is very weird. Log out, login, Mario. Okay, now I have login. I am inside. I would like to verify that I have created this username as well. Save and run. Okay, now I have introduced this, and this is the password associated to this. This is a very good signal. Then now I would like to populate the database by introducing some entries here. For example, 15. I would like to introduce another entry. 21. Submit. Okay, this is, since that is working, now what we have to verify is that this is already stored. Then I go to my Dataclips, and here I go to Dataclips. I would like to create a new Dataclips. Okay, it seems that I have to select that as well. Okay, it seems that I have to select the database here. I'm not using anymore Heroku. Then to me, all these things are not, I'm not familiar with this anymore. Then now I run this, and this is the same information that we have here. Is basically, this is the user ID. This is basically the same information that we have here, Mario, with these credentials, and this is exactly the same information that you have in this database. Okay. Okay, I think that this basically concludes this video, in which basically we have learned how to create to deploy your app in Heroku, how to create a Postgres database. We have gone through the process in which basically we have to create this database in our local computer, and then we populate it, and we have run some very basic Postgres scripts in Heroku to know what information we have in our database. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, and now I don't see you in the next video. Probably will see you in the next year in a new course that I am creating to create a course about the programming of the browser. And I really have enjoyed this course, and I'm going to miss you a lot. Ha de bra, vi snakkes.